I do not want the breaking news. The Mets just signed Pete Alonso.
No way!
Yo, that's crazy. Live here on the podcast.
Oh,
Mets
Pete's
just re-signed
back.
Pete. Yo, we're eating our words. We gotta cut that out
Oh, god damn
and
it.
post it
As we're
back.
saying, he's not going to get signed until next edition. There it is. Jeff Passan. Pete's coming back.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's hype.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Now the
Pete's
lineup's
back, a
good.
New York Met. Let's freaking go, baby.
That's
Hell
big. That's
yeah.
big. That's big,
Hell
fellas.
yeah.
Oh, man. Now we're
Oh,
geeked. Now the band's back
Pete.
together.
Oh, let's
Pete's here.
go.
Now I'm
Now we're
excited.
winning the freaking World Series, baby. Let's go, Mets. All right, everybody. Welcome to the Two Man Podcast on this Super Bowl weekend, episode number 48.
Hell yeah.
Tyler, how we doing?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm charged up. I mean, we have a great
Hell
list of things
yeah.
to talk about this episode.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm so excited, man. Honestly, this episode is going to be smoother than a piece of butter on bread. I'm so excited. So Tyler, how about you read what we got for us today?
What a great expression. We got a lot of great things. Carl and me took a lovely trip to the city to see some of our friends this weekend. So we'll recap a little bit about that, which will lead into our next topic after that. That's where we were when one of the biggest trades probably ever in at least NBA or sports history went down, the Luka trade.
Yeah, yeah.
And along with some other trade news from other sports that we'll talk about that happened that same day. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Fantastic Four trailer that officially dropped. Talk about all the Easter eggs and things we saw in that. And then we'll end with a little Super Bowl preview slash predictions slash our lovely game will also have to do with the Super Bowl. And me and
Hell
Carl
yeah.
put together a little 5 pick
Ooh,
parlay
yes,
that is going
sir.
to win you guys a lot of money if you just trust the process.
Dude,
So
that's what I'm saying. Trust the
we
process,
we are
baby.
excited. So
I'm
Carl,
s-
how about we just talk about our city experience?
Yeah, man, dude. Honestly, city experience was good. So how this kind of all got put together was Tyler and I are in a group chat with all our buddies from college, and we were like,
Mhm.
yo, let's try and all get together. So about like 3 weeks ago, we picked a date. We're like, okay, how many of us can make it on this date? Let's grab dinner in the city and maybe go out afterwards. When we texted, I think it only took a couple hours, and out of the like nine of us in the chat, I think we got six of us to be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Then next thing you know, we're talking about it for weeks, and 2 days before, out of that six, now we just got four.
yeah,
So
no
honestly,
problem.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Four great guys meeting up together and hanging out.
yeah,
But my travel into the city was pretty late, only like an hour in. I know Tyler will tell his side of the story, in a few short moments. I know his travel wasn't as light as mine. I came straight from work, which was nice. Hopped on the train, brought me right into Grand Central. I got there earlier than everybody else, so I was just
yeah,
walking around like Grand Central, like the food court, just like hanging out,
yeah,
listening to music. Then
yeah,
Blake was trying to find me. I started grittying, so he found me. And
yeah.
then then we waited for Tyler, Dan, and Hallie to meet us. It was a great time.
Yeah, no, it was good. Obviously, my travel's longer. It's like an hour to the train, 2 hours on the train.
It's crazy.
It's tough, but I made do, watch some shows and stuff. Met up with Dan and Hallie. We had about 30 minutes, and the train station's like 5 minutes from his house. And I went back there. We had about 10 minutes until we had to leave. So I went, dropped my stuff off, went to the bathroom, had a drink, and then we left with still like 10 minutes until the train. We couldn't figure out what it was. It had to have been the elevator's fault because we got downstairs and it said it was 5:30 as we were about to get to the train. And then it's almost like time sped up in real life because all of a sudden we were still like a minute or two away and it was 5:34, which our train was, and we heard it on the track. So me, Dan, and Hallie had to book it. And this wasn't like a playful jog. Like this was an all-out sprint. Like we just barely got on the train. Me and Dan hopped on first quickly. Hallie was right behind us. We like sat on the doors so they didn't close. She hopped on. We sat down and we all kind of were just we were just out of breath and we couldn't believe. We don't know what happened because we left in plenty of time, but besides that, I mean, yeah, smooth sailings in the city. We met up with you guys, and
Yep, yep.
the plan was to go to this country bar that I don't even know the name of the bar, but it was new,
It was called Common Country.
Common Country.
Yeah, Common
Okay, yeah.
Country.
Yeah, I just know Dan wanted to go badly because him and Blake apparently have tried getting in a few times. It's newer, always busy, and every time he went at like 10:30, it was packed. So we tried to get there early to get dinner around 6:30 near it, and
Yes.
then get go into the bar after and wait online if there
Around like
was one at
7
all
o'clock. Yeah.
by like 7. And so first we went to Mike's bar that I don't know the name of either. I was just
Slatteries.
there we go. I'm just going with
Got you.
vibes. I
I
don't know
got
anything.
you.
But it's so funny. We probably got there like 6:30, 6:15, yeah, 6:30, 6:45, and it's packed. And
Ha.
nothing against his bar, but I don't think it's ever been that packed.
It
And
never is. But the thing is we went there and it's a UNC alumni
yes,
bar. So
yes,
whenever it's UNC game day, that bar is packed. Like you
yes.
can't even walk in. I've never even seen them take money at the door before.
I was about to say,
We're
yeah,
about to walk in. There's a cover.
yeah. So Hallie was like, "There's a cover, so
We're like,
let's maybe not go
what?
in because we were only going to go in for a few minutes, maybe get grab a bite to eat, and then head out." And we were standing out there, and I jokingly said, "Wow, wouldn't it be funny if UNC was playing Duke? That's what the crowd looks like in
Yeah.
here." And sure enough, I can see a TV. UNC was just about to tip off against Duke. And for anyone who doesn't know college basketball, that's like Yankees Red Sox. That's
Yeah.
like, the rivalry in college basketball. So I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
rough.
of course they're doing a cover. And now we have to walk another, what, like 5, 10 minutes to the next place? Cold.
20
Yeah,
minutes.
like, dude, 20 minutes cold,
It was
both
freezing,
having to
dude.
pee.
It was freezing.
Yeah.
I had to pee so bad. I
Yep.
was about to find literally a corner on the side of the street, like a homeless man, and pee in the corner.
Yeah, I know. I know. And then we, walked in and we got right into the bar.
No
Well,
cover.
no
No
cover,
line, no cover.
no cover. The sports bar Dan wanted to go to for dinner not only was closed for good.
Like
Everything inside gone,
boarded up. Like
gone.
boarded up, nobody
Yeah,
coming in.
I couldn't believe it. And so then we're just like, let's just go to the country bar. And then no cover, no line. We walk right in. Me and Carl go over to the bathroom. Do you remember the guy that walked up to us almost immediately?
Yes.
What did he say? Dude, we were in
Yo,
this place for 5 seconds.
we're
Five
all right.
seconds.
So I'll set the scene. We walk in. We both had to pee. So the
Hmm.
two of us just sprint to the bathroom. Dan and Blake go and try and get online for drinks at the bar.
Yep.
And we're waiting. We're like two people away from the bathroom, like, because there's a line to get in, because it's like, I guess, unisex. There's only four different stalls, and you have to keep going through.
Hmm.
And we're waiting online, and this guy comes up to us immediately and goes, "Oh man, like, where you guys from?" And we're like, Long Island. He's like, "Oh, yo, like me too." He's like, "Dude, what a sorry excuse for a country bar, right?" Me and Tyler look at each other, and we go, "Dude, we just got here." And
Yeah.
Tyler goes, "Dude, yeah, no, I mean, like, I think it's okay. Like, we just got here. It's not that bad."
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the biggest place, but also it was country themed for sure. They had country music, guitars, and other sort of stuff. Like it was nice and a huge TV. Like
Yeah,
it was a very nice bar. And then just hearing, he was from Long Island himself. And then when I told him about Daisies and Patchogue, he was like, "Oh yeah, that place is great." It's like both are pretty comparable.
both very similar.
Yeah,
Very similar. You know what? I even give Common Country a little bit of an edge, because I think
yeah,
their bathroom situation's like a little bit better.
yeah.
Not gonna say that it's better, but that just tells you how
How bad
bad
Daisies is,
Daisy's
yeah.
bathroom situation
And,
is.
and plus, the place we were at was bigger than Daisy's.
Yeah,
Again, I love
most definitely.
Daisy's. I
Yeah.
like going to Daisy's as like the first spat and patch, but this place was big. It had room. They had that private party who I felt bad for. They like
Yeah.
sardined them into one corner. We had more room than the private party
Yeah,
area.
we did. We did have more room than the private party, and we were in a crowd of people.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We were able to finally meet up with Mike after we were done at that place, had one drink at Mike's, and
Yep.
then, we traveled back to Dan's apartment. But me and Carl were just talking about this before, and at least from my point of view, I didn't realize until we got back to Dan's and started having Domino's that we never had dinner.
Yeah, no, no, we definitely didn't. And let me tell you, that was not good for me.
No,
No,
the
no. I
amount of
blacked
drinks,
out,
the
blacked out, blacked out.
just the amount of drinks we all had and not eating dinner was not the greatest idea in the world.
Yeah, I think it would have been fine with the just having the beer, but
Hmm.
throwing in like the th 3 or 4 shots we all had just
Yeah,
sent me. Sent
no,
me.
exactly. So that's what
Yeah.
happens when we get to see each other and stuff like that. You definitely just have to. It was a good time
Yeah,
overall.
man. Listen, dude, that's what I love about it is like you go to the city, you can do something different every time
Oh,
you
of
go.
course.
You
Yeah.
know, you can end up going to a different borough, different street, and it's still a hell of a good time.
Yeah, as long as I say it probably every time about the city, as long as you play it safe and you're in a group and you don't, do anything stupid, it's a fun time. You stay close to home, you don't go anywhere sketchy. It's a fun
Exactly.
time just walking around the city and being able to just use public transportation.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, not having
It's
to
so
drive or anything, it's
No,
nice.
that's what's so sweet about it is like like when you go to the city, you know you don't have to like drive anywhere. Like it's
Hmm.
different like when you go to Connecticut or Long Island, you have to Uber or something.
Hmm.
It's like at least you know if you walk at least 10, 15 minutes, you can hop on public transportation and make it back somehow.
Yeah,
You're chilling.
exactly.
You're living
And
large.
yeah, and it was obviously a lot of fun. But I think the craziest thing that happened was as soon as we got back to Dan and Hallie's apartment, we hop on the elevator and I had a few drinks in me, so I had to double, triple, quadruple check that I was reading this tweet I received right. But it was going into
Yeah.
our next topic about Luka Doncic getting traded
Dude,
to the Lakers.
that's crazy. It was literally crazy because when you said it, we were all like, that's fake. There's no way.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it because I was looking at it. I made sure I read it right. I was like, yes, Luka Doncic from the Mavs to the Lakers. And anyone who doesn't know, especially in basketball, Shams is like
Yeah.
the top
He's the top
analyst.
guy now
And
ever
he's
since
the one
Woj
who
is gone.
tweeted exactly, no Woj bomb. This was his bomb. And it happened like 12:30 at night. So it was right before everyone decided to almost go to bed.
Yeah.
And then, no exaggeration, is probably, I can't think of a bigger one in our lifetime, a bigger NBA trade that has gone down. Because there was no rumors, there was no nothing. It just
Dude,
happened.
I think realistically, I think it's probably the biggest trade in all of sports to happen within the
I,
last like 6 or 8 years, you know?
yeah.
Like I really can't think about it because there was it was really funny. I saw on TikTok and it was like this like baseball like girl that I follow that
Hmm.
follows baseball and she was like I don't really follow NBA like that. She's like like in the comments like please explain to me in baseball terms.
Hmm.
This one person was like imagine trading like Bobby Witt Jr. for Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, it's like not, it's pretty comparable.
You know, like you're trading like literally the top youngest player in the game
Yeah.
for a like a good like player, but
Hmm.
he's on the older side
Yeah.
and like there's not much future there.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it was crazy.
It was insane, and just since, I mean, it's almost a week old, and still just looking at it from so many different angles and aspects. And the Utah was in there as a third team to help facilitate the trade. Their GM said they had no idea this was the trade that was about to go down,
Yeah.
that he was helping out, which is crazy. The Lakers, being the only team that was apparently offered Luka, they didn't even say Luka was on the trade block. So no other team were able to offer a bigger package. And then you get rid of Anthony Davis as well to go back the other way. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Dude, there's a lot of fishy things about this. The more shit keeps coming out. They
Yeah,
said the reasoning why the Mavs wanted to part with one of the best players in the league was because they didn't like his conditioning.
I know.
But the guy still averages 28 points at a game,
Yeah.
like almost has a triple double every time he's on the court. Like,
I
just doesn't make
he
sense.
he's our age and he just led that team to the
To the
finals
conference
last year.
finals,
No, not even
conference finals last
to the
year.
finals, to the actual finals.
He's a couple of like bad bounces away from the Celtics losing and the Mavs coming out
Yeah.
the champions. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And they built that team around him. And again, he's
Yeah.
25 years old and he has so much potential. And people were even saying it's not a conditioning problem, or even if it was, he led you to the finals at whatever
Yeah.
weight you keep rumoring he is.
Dude, and then like they're like, yeah, 270's heavy. This man is 6'7".
Yeah,
Six
exactly.
seven.
Yeah,
You're weighing 270 at 6'7". Yeah, if I'm what he's literally a foot taller than me. I'm 5'7", right?
yeah.
So he's a whole foot taller than me. If a guy my height weighs 270, yeah, my bad, bro. You're overweight. You cannot be playing. But the fact that he's 6'7" and weighing
Mhm,
270, I think that's a pretty average, like maybe, yeah, obviously he could
mhm.
lose some weight, but like I wouldn't consider him overweight.
Yeah, and I think a more concerning one was not to call a guy out because he's a freak athlete, but it's like Zion's a different story because Zion's injury
Yes.
prone. Zion
Yes.
hasn't been able to stay on the court. Zion kind of ballooned up after college.
Yeah.
Again, not to make fun of the guy, but it's like you look at Zion who can't stay on the court and hasn't led his team into deep into the playoffs, and then you look at Luka who has unbelievable talent, and
Yeah.
you just say, "Here you go." And people were making fun of the GM for the Mavericks, obviously, because there was other trades. I mean, look at the Knicks. We got Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round picks, and the Mavs only got one and Anthony Davis. How how does that happen?
Dude, I don't know. It really just doesn't make sense because again, like you said, you mentioned the Utah Jazz coach or GM. He said that he found out 30 minutes before, and at that point it was too late to like kind of stop the trade.
Yeah,
I saw another thing that said back in like 2008, they wanted to trade CP3 to the Lakers.
I
The
saw that.
league vetoed it,
I know.
but this went through.
I know. They didn't want to, yeah, form the duo of Kobe and
And
Chris Paul.
CP3. I
But
mean, obviously the NBA has changed very much
yeah,
since then, you know.
yeah, that was the
Um,
old commissioner.
yeah. And it was also a very different way to look at teams.
Hmm.
You know, like there wasn't really your super teams back then.
Yeah, fair.
But it was completely different. But and then this is the craziest thing to me that I saw.
Hmm.
I saw something that D Wade said that it is a very smart business decision on the NBA to allow this to happen.
Hmm.
And he even went as far as saying that it was possible that the NBA wanted this to happen and made the Mavs and Lakers do this.
Hmm.
The NBA just signed a $25 billion TV deal to last over the next 12 or so years, right?
Hmm.
The next like decade and a half, right?
Sure.
Um, and a lot of that money coming from international, like the international TV pool.
Hmm.
Who right now is the most famous international player?
It's gotta be
Luka
LeBron.
Doncic.
Or international. Sorry, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
International
yeah,
player, right?
yeah,
So international player is Luka Doncic,
yeah,
right? The team that has the most prime time games that gets showcased around the world
yeah,
is the Lakers.
yeah.
So for Luka to be traded to the Lakers, he
Hmm.
immediately goes from jersey sold from number 6, where he was standing at this
Yeah,
season, to immediately goes to number 1 as the Lakers. So
yeah.
now you're getting revenue from like jersey money,
Hmm.
merchandise from the Lakers from Luka Doncic. Now that he's going to be playing on the West Coast, well, he was already playing on the West Coast time beforehand, but he's going to be playing like in LA. You have
Yeah.
more people that will come to LA to
Hmm.
watch because it's the Laker name,
Oh yeah.
the name of the player. So now you have all these international people coming in to
Hmm.
watch Luka Doncic. So now that boosts up the viewership
Oh
of
yeah.
that $25 billion deal that you just signed.
Yeah. I
So money wise, it was like, damn, like that's just crazy.
I know, and I can't even, you can't almost rule it out because it's like just came out not too long ago that the NBA viewership is starting to dip.
Go down, yeah.
So it's like, how do you get viewers to come back? It's like most people like LeBron, you either love him or hate him. So
Yeah.
how do you get people to start watching more? It's like you get LeBron a superstar as you don't know how much time LeBron has left.
Yeah. I
So you
mean,
get him a superstar.
LeBron the night that they traded Luka had a triple double. Scored
Oh
33
yeah, I
points,
forgot to
12
mention that
against
part.
the Knicks.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the worst part. We were watching the Knicks Lakers game that night too, with the
Yeah,
Lakers
it was
beating them.
terrible.
Yeah,
It's
awful.
terrible.
And then yeah, they decided to get him, and it was just it's so weird too because yeah, you think of like what are international brands that everyone knows: Dodgers, Yankees, Lakers, Cowboys, just like teams that maybe aren't always good, but no matter what, like
They
that's the
got that
brands that you
brand.
want to wear. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the logo you want to be wearing. So that's a team also that doesn't really go through full on rebuilds. Those are not teams that tear it down and stink for a while. I mean, not for like 10 years. So it's like now you get your superstar Luka once LeBron retires, whether it's this year, next year, 3 years. Luka can is eligible for a contract soon to at least be there, and if he wanted to, could kind of be on that team for the next decade, and they can just build around Luka after LeBron's gone, and it's scary to think.
Dude, it's crazy because it's like, you're gonna transition from LeBron
Mhm.
right into Luca.
Yeah.
And it's not even gonna be transitioning. Now you're gonna have both of them playing at a high level right now.
I know, and I
Right
can't. I
now.
believe it's Saturday. I think that Luca might be playing. I know
Yeah,
he's
because
dealing
he's
with a
been
calf
hurt.
strain. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's Saturday or whenever it may be, I can't wait to see those two on the court,
Yeah, it's gonna
and
be electric, dude.
I
It's
can't
gonna
wait
be
to
dope.
see. I can't wait to see the Lakers and Mavs play. I think it's the end of this month. That's gonna
Yeah.
be
I
fun.
saw and Anthony Edwards was like, yeah, I'm buying a ticket. I don't
Yeah,
care if I go to the game. I'm
I
trying to
saw
go to that
that.
game.
I saw that. But yeah, just even looking on the other side too, it's like obviously you think the Lakers won this trade, which they did, and I
Yeah,
think
they
long
definitely
long
did.
term for
Yeah.
sure, no question. But short term, honestly, the Mavs might have won this trade
I
because
mean,
you look at their
yeah.
starting five. I think Anthony Davis is now playing with a bigger chip on his shoulder because they're saying all these things about, obviously the
Luca,
trade
yeah.
was not the package and return was not what it should be. But Anthony Davis isn't some G League scrub.
No,
When he
100%.
when he can stay on the court, he has an injury bug. But when he can stay on the court, he's a good defender, he's a good scorer, he plays with a lot of physicality, and I think he really could make that Mavs team good, but you have to almost win it within 2 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, but think about it though too, is that like when Anthony Davis got traded to the Lakers, how big of a deal that was,
Yeah.
And you're kind of just overseeing that. But
Yes.
it's just the problem is that Luca is literally like he's a top two player in the league. Like if it's not LeBron, I
Yeah.
thought it was Luca. Like
Yeah.
he is literally the
Yeah.
other best player in the league. Now you
Yeah.
have number one and two playing on the
Hmm.
same team.
Yeah. No.
And that's what's just crazy about it. If I was a Mavs fan, I'd be sick, like sick
Oh,
to my stomach.
dude, I couldn't even imagine. And like the Lakers obviously still need a couple pieces because LeBron can play defense, but he's so 40. Luka plays no defense,
Yeah.
really. So you do need another at least a center or defender to
You don't
help.
need to play defense if you're scoring 200 points a
I
game.
mean, that's fair too. Or you have to score 200. But yeah,
Yeah.
I already saw it's just when you hear about the GM talking to the president of the Mavericks about the trade, and before it went down, he goes, "Are you sure?" Basically, like, no shot, this is real. And he's like, "Yes, this is a good deal." And then him not telling Jason Kidd beforehand, the coach of the Mavs, and then the literal guy who broke the deal saying, "Is this fake? Did I get hacked?" People thought he got hacked. And if you
People
think
thought he got hacked, and a guy thought his phone also got hacked.
yeah, and the analyst actually also thought his phone was hacked. So for people to think they were hacked, for everyone to tell the GM like, "Are you sure about this? Is this a good move?" How did you think this was a good move? How? They've already offered season ticket refunds for the rest of the season for Mavericks fans. It's like
Wow.
$2,000 worth of value apparently. You can refund your season tickets, your homes.
Wow.
Yeah, which
That's
is
actually pretty like nice of them to do.
it's very nice, but it's like, I mean, I honestly don't even know how the Mavericks are doing right now, but it's like they got to be at least a
I mean, they
playoff
were
team,
definitely in contention. You cannot
right?
have that team and not be like one of the top 10 teams in the league.
Yeah,
Or I mean, not in the league, but in the division.
yeah,
Like they're definitely. I mean, was it the top 8 teams make the playoffs in
something
each
like that. But
conference?
now with the new play-ins, I think up to like
Up to 12, right?
11 or 12
Or
at least
11,
has a
yeah.
shot, something like that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I don't know, and it made it even worse. I think the next day they were down by like 60 points at one point, the Mavericks. Granted, AD wasn't there yet. They didn't have Doncic. I don't think Kyrie
And they
played
traded
either.
away two other players that were pretty like pivotal on their bench too.
Yeah, exactly. And Kyrie didn't play because he was hurt or rest in the NBA. So it's like you just lost a generational superstar who wanted to play in Dallas, like in Texas. Like how many people want to play in like not the top media team? You wouldn't think, Mavericks as
Yeah.
a first destination. He wanted to stay there. And then
He
now he's
just
not
bought a
even
$15 million
I know
house.
he bought a house and now he's not even Supermax eligible, which I don't even know how to get into that, but he was due for like $345 million.
That's
And
another thing
now
too. It saved NBA money because now they don't have to pay him more.
Yeah, so there's so many different levels to this trade that went down that I'm so glad, we're talking about it because I was
There's
trying to just like
so much tomfoolery going on here, and I ain't fucking with it.
literally, and I was trying to talk to Taylor about it like the next day after I got home, and I was like, nah, like I can't
I was
even
like, I
think of
can't,
anything. Like I
I
can't
literally
think of
don't
anything.
understand it.
Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense. I
I know
cannot comprehend it.
the more and more I think about it, and even when I officially see like them both in their new threads, it's still going to be like, wow, so this actually happened. Like
I mean,
I
even like watching the video I saw today of just like LeBron and Luka shooting around, I was like, wow. I was like, are
yeah.
they just hanging out like open court?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. And yeah, it's definitely going to be something talked about and one of those things like even 1 year later, 2 years later, 5 years
Yeah.
later, 10 years later, how the trade panned out for both franchises. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see too. And kind of to play devil's advocate here is like, we talked about how it was possibly to like booster, viewership. But
Hmm.
like I would argue too that this happens way too often in the NBA and is
Hmm.
why viewership has gone down because people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, why am I going to watch my team anyway if like,
Hmm.
you know, they're just going to trade the guy I like, you
Yeah,
know?"
literally. And there's just like it's like no loyalty. It's like they showed a picture today from like 5 years ago, like what the
I
NBA
saw
used to
those.
look
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
It's like
I
most
saw
of those
those.
duos are either one of them are gone or both of them are gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, not to get too into it, but just as right before recording, Jimmy Butler finally got traded to
Yep.
Golden State after he was upset with Miami. And that was a whole saga for months now. And there's rumors of Kevin Durant possibly getting traded again. It's like that
Yeah.
guy's bounced around 6 times as an all-time great.
It's crazy, man. It is so
It's like,
crazy.
when Durant does go into the Hall of Fame, it's like, who does he go in as? You know?
Yeah. Um,
What?
yeah, I really couldn't even tell you. He's
It's,
gonna go in and as his own. As
yeah.
his own he's just gonna go in as Kevin Durant. He's
Yeah.
gonna go in an NBA jersey. That's what he's gonna do.
He
He's not
might as
gonna
well
pick a
at this
team.
point because obviously people love his time with the Thunder. Golden State was where he had his most wins. I mean, the
Yeah.
Nets era stunk. Suns isn't great. So it's like, I don't know. The NBA is just a weird league with trades and, you know, players going to different teams. And I mean,
Yeah.
this one we could talk about for hours.
No, exactly. But the only thing is, just to kind of touch on, is the Knicks have been playing good ball, and
Mm.
that's the only thing I really care about with the NBA because that is our team. Even
Yep.
though they did lose to the Lakers on Saturday night, you
Uh-huh.
can't. LeBron, for some reason, he just turns on a switch when he knows that people are coming to see him at the
Hmm.
Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know what it is. It'll always happen. It'll always be that way.
Yep.
But our Knicks have been rolling. They won
Yes.
last night against Toronto.
Yep. Won the night
Um,
before.
and the night before. So, it's something about this team. I know we made predictions a couple episodes ago. Something about this team is keeping me faithful, and
Um,
I just love to see it.
I'm with you there too. I'm with you there too. And to touch on it quickly too, we talked about another couple trade items as well, right around the same day or the next day after that, just
Yeah,
in the NFL too. Miles Garrett requesting a trade and
yeah,
the Rams announcing Cooper Cup is going to be traded like immediately, even though he doesn't want to be. What is going
yeah,
on?
dude. Like, and it was like kind of like everybody heard about the Luka trade, and like the past, like we're recording this on Wednesday. The
Hmm.
past 4 days since the trade, all these other trade rumors from other sports have just been coming out,
Yeah.
and they're like Miles Garrett requested a trade, but then the Cooper Cup one is weird to me because
Hmm.
he personally put out a like a thank you to LA.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't been traded yet, he still
No.
could stay because
Yeah.
they could not find a trade partner.
Yeah.
And they were like, um, because he has no say in the matter. I guess the Rams were like, we're gonna try to trade you, and he's like,
Yeah.
but I don't want to leave.
I know, and I've never seen like I think the word was immediately. I think they said they're
Yeah,
trying to trade him immediately. It's like what happened there?
yeah, I don't know, and I don't know if it's something front office or if they were like, listen, like we just personally don't think that he's going to be good next year, so we want to try and get him at his highest value because I would say he's a pretty high value right now. So I guess
Yeah.
they're just trying to build for the future. They don't think they're going to win next year, but they did make it into the playoffs. They won a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean that him with Puka is a good duo, but I think that
Yeah,
team is just at year in and year out they've traded so many picks, and I think all their contracts are so big that I think
yeah,
their future is not looking bright past some of these guys retiring and or
yeah.
leaving.
Their problem is their team is like too young
Hmm.
and it's too old. There's
Yeah.
no in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So it's rough. Like
yeah.
they have like a lot of really young talent on the team,
Hmm.
and then they have a lot of old talent on the team. And
Hmm.
like Cooper Cup's like that weird guy in the middle. So I guess
Yeah.
maybe they want to kind of just be like, all right, like let's get what we can from him. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
guess so too. And but they also said they take on a lot of the contracts, so I don't even know if it's a shedding money thing. So it's
Yeah, I
weird.
don't know, man. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just yeah, this whole week, I mean, the NBA trade deadline as of when this episode will drop was yesterday. It's the 6th. So there's more trades to be had in the NBA.
Yeah.
What's going to happen
Yeah.
in the NFL? I mean, baseball's around the corner. I mean, this is the time.
Pitchers and catchers are going to report, and Pete Alonso still hasn't signed, so
I can't
still
even
waiting on
I
that.
can't even get into that right
I
now.
really
That's
can't
just a
even get into
mess.
it either. That'll take us another hour of the
Yeah,
episode.
exactly.
So
Probably by next episode, I'm sure he won't even have signed yet, so we'll talk
no,
about it then.
I'm sure it's not going to happen until literally like a week before regular season starts, and then he's gonna sign with the Mets. He's gonna be booty cheeked for half the season because
Yeah,
he's gonna be like, I didn't have a spring training,
yeah,
and it's gonna be like, this is your own fault,
yeah.
your own fault.
Your own fault because of your agent. Just
Yeah,
leave. But we digress. That's for another time.
we
Carl,
certainly digress.
Carl,
We certainly digress.
let's get off the sports topic for right now, and let's talk about another topic we love talking about, and that's Marvel and comic movies and shows. And the Fantastic Four trailer just dropped,
Yes, sir.
and I loved it.
Yeah,
I am actually
me too.
hyped. I didn't think I would be as hyped as I am, but I am very excited for that movie.
Yeah, dude, like we're in like our next topic after the Super Bowl. We're in that Super Bowl week where we
Yes.
are going to be getting so many trailers, so
Yep.
many great looks at everything to just get us hyped for the rest of the year.
Yep.
It's a great time to be a sports fan right now, and it's an
Mhm.
even better time to be a nerd
Yes.
because you get the best of both worlds, you know?
Yes.
So I have to agree with you, dude. I loved it. I had the initial reaction. I was like, damn, I wish I saw more. Then I watched it another 25 more times within the next hour and a half.
Yep.
And I can certainly say everything that they showed, I was very happy because what is one thing that we talk about on this podcast all the time about trailers, Tyler?
Oh, they well they show too much. I feel
Exactly.
yeah.
And I think that they showed just the perfect
Yes.
amount.
Yes.
I think the last two big trailers that we really wanted to see was the Superman trailer and the
Hmm.
Fantastic Four trailer. I think they absolutely showed the perfect amount. I don't
Yeah.
think anything was given away too much. Again,
Yeah.
like this could definitely change, but I think it
Yes.
was a good thing to
Hmm.
6 months out from a movie,
Yeah.
you give us a little taste just
Yep.
so we can digress every little thing from that. And it
Yep.
only shows like a minute of the what the movie's actually gonna be.
Yep. I
So
I agree because in other aspects they show too much and fans theorize what could happen, and there's plenty of theories going around now what this movie could really be about, but there's almost no distinct factor about what it
yep,
exactly is going to be about.
exactly.
And like you said, when I saw now the Superman and the Fantastic Four trailers, I thought they almost had similar vibes in the sense.
Very,
Maybe it
very
was
similar vibes. Yeah.
maybe it was the tone or the coloring of everything or the shots or I don't know, something about them had similar vibes. It was almost like a new era for both,
Yeah.
cinematic universes. And it was great to finally see what everyone looked like. I know we had some differing opinions on how Ben looked.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not going to stop me from being exciting and wanting to watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, I'll give my opinion. I thought he looked really good.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm interested before I give my take why I thought he looked really good. Why do
Mm.
you think he did not look good?
So I've almost double backed a little bit
Okay.
because I then did watch it a couple times. My first
Yep.
opinion was after. I think I'm pulling it up right now. I think this shot, and it could get changed because there's been plenty of movies where it gets criticized so much that they change it again. You know,
Yeah.
Sonic is the great example. But I think this shot is just a bad shot, and maybe it's because how he's moving. But when he's on the hat at the TV, I mean, I got a bad glare here.
Okay, I would agree with that one
But
particular
because
shot.
if you
He
look at
doesn't look great.
if you look at 2005, you know,
Yeah.
but then it's just this one shot like that looks goofy,
Yeah.
but
Well, the one thing I'll say about that is the 2005 is I think that's why a lot of people like weren't like, "Yo, Ben looks amazing."
yeah,
Um, was that 2005 one was all done practically, and
hmm,
it also from other people has also gotten that like that wasn't the best look either.
no,
Like
of course,
so I think this is a kind of nice middle ground of how he looks,
yes,
from my personal opinion.
hmm,
And I honestly, my first reaction was that he looked great. That scene of him trying the sauce, I
yes,
thought was like a chef's kiss scene. I thought that was
yes,
really cool to put in because it's not even showing you like the action that's going to take place in what you would
hmm,
want in a Marvel movie.
yeah,
It's going to show like that, like that family aspect that you can kind of like, I guess, relate to these characters.
yes,
And I thought he looked really great in that
y-
shot.
yeah,
So
yeah. After I had my initial thought where I said I didn't like it, I'm not saying I love it, obviously.
yeah,
But I do agree with you. That one shot I saw, I thought that was goofy. If you just look at the still
yeah,
shot, but him when he's cooking and trying the sauce and everything, that looks perfect. So I'm
yeah.
thinking that's just a bad shot. He's gonna look great without. Because I've also seen people talking about that's more comic accurate with his big eyebrows and
Eyebrow. Yeah,
stuff.
I've seen that too, which again, like I personally don't like
Yeah,
know the difference because I haven't read those old comics like
yeah,
that. But I mean, from that one picture you showed me, like you said, I'm gonna pick the 2005 one.
hmm.
And I think that comes from my heart the nostalgia of that movie
Oh,
because like
of course,
we grew up with those movies. Like
of
I
course.
think of the Fantastic Four, I think of Chris Evans, I think of
Hmm.
that thing, I think of Jessica Alba. I
Yep,
forget the guy who the actor's name who played Mr. Fantastic, but like when I think Mr. Fantastic, I think of those characters that played
of
them
course.
because
Yeah.
we just grew up with them, you
I
know?
almost, I almost said sorry. I almost said Reed Richards, but that's not the real life actor's
Yeah,
name.
that's not the that's
God
his
damn it!
alias.
God
That's his
damn it!
alias. That's great. That's great. I wish you said that. I wish you
Yeah,
said that.
but no, I do, I do agree, and I think I watched it a few times. It's the first time I watched it on my phone, watched it on the TV, just able to kind of see everything. Um, and just direction of Marvel lately, I haven't been too excited with most things. I've been caus cautiously
Caution. Yeah.
optimistic,
Yep. Hmm.
but it's been a long time since this happened. When I saw the shadow and then the shot of Galactus,
Yeah.
I had goosebumps. And
Yeah,
that might
dude.
be whoever, don't make fun of me at 25, 26 years old is saying I got goosebumps from the trailer because that was
I
insane.
I ain't making
That
fun of you,
I
dude,
know
because
you
it
ain't
gave
gonna
it to
make
me
fun of
too.
me, but anyone listening, dude, I got goosebumps
Yeah.
because there's all the rumors about that might be the villain and stuff, but seeing just even a glimpse of what he might look like was insane to me.
I mean, it's cool too because it's like 10 times better than what they did in the 2008 one when we watched it. He was a cloud in the Silver Surfer one. That was the main villain of the Silver Surfer movie. Fantastic Silver
I
Surfer.
I don't remember that, so that's even
He was a
crazier.
cloud. Like a cloud was coming to devour the thing, and people were pissed because it wasn't actually Galactus. They named the cloud Galactus.
Really?
Yeah, if you look it up, it's literally like a picture of a cloud.
I'm gonna look it
It is
up.
the dumbest thing, dude. And but like yeah, I mean for me first, I mean, well, I want to ask you this. What was your biggest takeaway from the actual trailer itself, like watching it? Like did you have like one thing you were like really excited they put in or like uh what was like your first like initial thought after watching it that you liked about it?
I thought, well, obviously Galactus, I love just that subtle shot of what he looked like, but I also just loved how they didn't give us too much and also kind of almost left you confused. I liked how they gave the aspect of this is not another origin story. Like the
Yeah.
team's together. You know, you don't have to see another how they got their powers, another mission, like stuff like that. You could touch on it, but it's like they're together. But it's like I also like it seems like it had that WandaVision episode 1 vibes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what is
Well, the
going
guy
on?
who directed WandaVision directed this.
Really?
Matt
Okay.
Shackman. Yeah.
So that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
like how it has that vibe of what's going on, which I think is only going to be a bigger buildup for how this ends and how their future
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, my biggest
Hmm.
takeaway was how amazing I think Vanessa Kirby is going to be as Invisible Woman. I think they're going
Okay.
to make her like the main character.
Okay.
And I just thought like every like scene in the trailer she was in, I was like,
Hmm.
dude, like she's going to be a good Invisible Woman. She's not as hot as Jessica Alba. No offense to her.
Yes.
But I just think that she's gonna steal the show. She like we're gonna talk about this and this is crazy because Pedro Pascal is part of this cast. And I
Yes.
think he's gonna be phenomenal. But I
Yes.
think just Vanessa Kirby is gonna steal the
I,
show. I
I
think everybody's gonna walk out of it a huge Invisible Woman fan.
that's a great point because yeah, Pedro Pascal is obviously probably the most named known named actor out of there.
Yeah,
But everyone is still excited for all four of them. And I think
yeah.
it's even crazier too. I think all their powers were shown except for Mr.
For his
Fantastic.
yeah, that was also crazy too. That was
So
my biggest takeaway
that's gonna
out
be
of it besides
cool.
Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool how they do that. And you know, I saw even a little detail about when they show, you know, him going flame on or just jumping off into the
Yeah.
sky. Did you see that little detail they added about the director added? It almost looks like debris and dirt and rocks kick up onto the screen to show like you're
Um,
almost actually in the movie, like viewing it from there.
Now I gotta watch for
I'll
27th
I'll
time.
show you the
Ah,
clip I saw, and
that's
it's just
crazy.
like it's directors who care again, you know, with every
Yeah.
shot, with every viewpoint, with everything, and that's what I think. I haven't been this excited for a trailer in a long
Yo,
time.
imagine you go to like a 4DX like showing of this movie and you get like slammed to the
Hit with
rocks.
pebbles, yeah. That was great, and
Oh,
obviously I always love to see everyone else's reviews. And I don't know what part they're talking about. I haven't gone back and looked. They must have been talking about like the 1 minute teaser, but there was a lot of fans making fun of the laugh track that there was kids laughing and they said it
oh
repeats
yeah.
3 times. I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't gone back, but
It was like that was like the teaser for the teaser.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I think. I haven't watched
Just
the maybe that's what they are, but they were making fun like, "Oh my God, what a big mistake. How could people not even pay attention that they use the same laugh 3 times in a row, thinking that it doesn't sound like authentic?" But 2 points from that. One, we don't know if that's supposed to be part of that. And two, if that's what you're nitpicking, trail is good. Trail is
yeah.
good. If you're
Yeah. I'm
worried about
sorry,
the laugh
dude.
track, trail is
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys have
sorry.
to shut up. And you're just
Yeah.
haters.
Literally just straight haters if that's what you're complaining about.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on. You're not complaining about CGI. Like,
Yeah.
you just sit there and freaking be appreciative that
Yeah.
we're in the silver era of Marvel Comics. Like,
I
fuck
know.
this.
I know.
Oh,
I know. Just get excited for the movies coming up. That one most excited for probably out of the next coming
yeah.
Marvel projects. And yeah,
And
I
that's
can't wait to see
crazy.
what else gets released and stuff.
Next week, Brave New World comes out, and
Yep.
right after that, Thunderbolts, and I feel like it'll literally be July. Next thing you know, and we'll be talking about Fantastic Four again.
I know.
There's probably gonna be another trailer that comes out in May
Hmm.
attached to Thunderbolts, so we're
Yeah.
gonna get even more stuff. I
Hmm.
also have a pretty like, I guess I'm pretty hopeful
Hmm.
that at the Super Bowl they also show a little bit more in the trailer.
They might.
I'm thinking that like this was like their way to like get it out because the trailer is only like a minute and 30 seconds. So
Hmm.
like I could see them adding an extra like 15 seconds to
Yeah.
that a minute 30 and just show a little bit more, tease a little bit. But I don't want them to show too much. I
No.
thought it was the perfect amount.
Yeah.
Perfect
You
amount.
maybe you show a quick glimpse of Silver Surfer. Maybe you
Yeah.
show a quick glimpse of Mr. Fantastic Elasticity. That's
Yep.
it. It's
The
just
only
quick.
thing I do not want is I do not want the Oh, breaking news. The Mets just signed Pete Alonso.
No way!
Yo, that's crazy. Live here on the podcast.
Oh,
Mets
Pete's
just re-signed
back.
Pete. Yo, we're eating our words. We gotta cut that out.
Oh, god damn
They
it.
posted
As we're
back.
saying, he's not gonna get signed until next edition. There it is. Jeff Passan. Pete's coming back.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
Oh, that's hype.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Now the
Pete's
lineup's
back at
good.
New York Met. Let's freaking go, baby.
That's
Hell
big. That's
yeah.
big. That's big,
Hell
fellas.
yeah.
Oh man, now we're
Oh,
geeked. Now the band's back
Pete.
together.
Oh, let's
Pete's here.
go.
Now I'm
Now we're
excited.
winning the freaking World Series, baby. Let's go, Mets.
It's wow, it's for 2 years and
Wow.
includes an opt-out after the first year. He'll
What a
make
loser.
he'll make 30 million this year. So it's like wow.
Wow. So he's gonna make
Jeez.
30 million. How much would he make next year?
I don't know. Didn't say. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Honestly,
That's a bag
wow.
fumble by Scott Boras and Pete, let me tell you. But
Yeah, because they would have signed 5 years, 150 million. Because
yep.
now, what if you have a bad year this year?
Yeah, you're buying in and hoping you hit 40, 50 homers again, and then you can
Yeah,
opt out and sign back for more.
I mean it's possible with Soto hitting in front of you or
It
Soto
is.
hitting behind you. What if you bet them? You bet Lindor one, Alonso two, Soto three. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Vientos four. I mean, now
Yeah,
just with Pete, the lineup is so much better. You can keep
yeah.
Vientos over at third, Pete's back at first. Mets are winning it all. We're back.
Let's
We're
go, baby.
back. We're
We're
back.
back.
We're
We're back.
back. That just
And we
changed
didn't
the
think
whole
we were gonna be
episode.
talking about Mets this podcast.
Oh my God. Yeah. Just when you think we're not talking about the Mets, we have a breaking news
Breaking news from our guy in the chair over
from a guy in
there,
the chair, Joey
Joey
Mats.
Mattioli. Joey
Dude,
Mats.
just made the rest of the week. Let's go.
Oh,
That's
that's awesome.
awesome.
Anyway, though, the one thing that I do not want them to put in a trailer at all for the Fantastic Four is if I see Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, I'm gonna throw my desk. I'm literally going to break it.
I agree.
And mark that down because I
Yeah.
will do it. I will be
How
furious.
bad would it be if it was, say they did show him and he wasn't in the movie, but it was a cutscene that he was in? That they
I'm
spoiled a cutscene.
Oh, if he show him in a trailer, if
No,
they
no, no.
spoil a
I'm saying,
cutscene.
yeah, you say you show him in the trailer, you sit down for the whole movie, you watch, say, the whole 2 hour movie, and he's
Yep,
not in it. But then that scene you saw in the trailer is
is
actually
the
part of a
cutscene.
cutscene.
I'd be furious.
Bro, that'd be
Furious,
insane.
dude.
If they
Furious.
spoil a cutscene.
Because my thing is like we expect him to be in this movie, but I don't want to see him in the trailer. I want to be surprised that he's in the movie. I want them not to put him in any of the trailers. And then I want to sit there and be like, oh, he's actually in this movie.
Yeah,
Cool. Thanks.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I I agree. So a lot of things to still be known about that movie. I think it's going to be really good, and that trailer was great. And I'm so on top of the world now with the Pete news as well.
No,
So this is
literally, I can't
absolutely
even
awesome.
think about anything else right now. Let's
I
freaking
know.
go. We were just talking about that he better sign, but he's not gonna. Oh, let's
I
go.
know
Yes,
he's
sir.
back for at least 1 year, maybe two. I love
Nah,
that.
he's gonna be back for the next
It
five
it's
years.
it's it's 2 years, 54 million, so he'll make 30 this year, and then if he stays another 24.
And then they could always extend him and maybe renegotiate the contract. I think maybe what's gonna happen is I think he should fire Scott Boris.
That'd be nice.
I think he needs to fire that guy and he needs to get his own agents back. I think
Yeah.
that was such a terrible mistake on his part because Scott was trying to drive up the price and when there was no market,
Yeah.
absolutely no market, and you screwed yourself out of money. So,
Yeah.
toodaloo.
Sorry, I just wanted to text my dad and uncle about it too.
Let's freaking go, baby. Let's
After,
go.
yeah.
That is hype. Live on the podcast.
Yeah,
We
that
have
might be one of the
breaking
first
news.
breaking news was I was wondering what Joey was going to deliver, and he delivered some great news.
Oh,
That
he
was awesome.
delivered. I was like, Joey, shut up right now. Wait, no, never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep talking.
That's awesome. Well, Pete is back. Now we don't talk about it next episode. We'll talk about the Mets next episode now in good news. But yeah, Fantastic Four is great. But you did mention
And
the Super Bowl, and
yes,
let's get back on track into our last topic.
yes, sir.
And we'll talk a little Super Bowl predictions, and at the end, we'll put a little parlay together back for you.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Carl, I know we both had predictions. I do want to give you credit. Um, you did get them right. I had Commanders, Chiefs. You did say Eagles, Chiefs. You
I
nailed it.
did. I did. I did.
And
I
now
mean,
we
I had a
got it.
50-50 shot, man. I
I
had a
obviously,
50-50
yeah.
shot.
It was Chiefs and someone else. So,
Yeah,
but we do have a rematch from a couple years ago, and
we
it's
do.
it's now you add Saquon to the mix and a better Eagles defense with a Chiefs team that is on a tear for coming off back-to-back wins, and hopefully it's a good game.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, dude, to just watch the game. I think it is two teams that match up fairly well against each other. I mean, I think obviously the Chiefs offense is probably a little bit better, but
Hmm.
the Eagles offense, has been slugging. They have a really good running defense, running offense right now
Yep.
this year.
Hmm.
And their defense has been playing outstanding.
Yep.
And then, on the other side of the ball, the Chiefs, like the champs, they literally have a great defense and they
Hmm.
just know how to win. Like no matter
Yep.
what it is, if they need to put up 45 points a game, they will. But if
Yep.
they only need to score 14 to win, they
Hmm.
also do that.
Yeah.
So it's just such a weird thing. And I also think because they have played each other so much in the past 2 years in the Super Bowl and then regular season,
Hmm.
I think it's going to be a very evenly matched game because the
Yeah.
teams know each other pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it's such like a basic thing to say, but it's going to be whatever team makes the less mistakes, which more times than not is the Chiefs because
Yeah.
they are so well coached. Most of the team has returned from the last season, or at least 2 seasons ago as well. And everyone's so bought in. I mean, you hear
Yeah.
Travis Kelce talk about in interviews and on the podcast. I mean, they are all business. Everyone's on the same page. You have obviously a lot of the same culprits making big plays, but then you have, backup tight ends making big catches, and then the backup linebackers and the
Yeah.
cornerbacks. I mean, they rarely make mistakes. And, kind of what you talked about too. I felt like when they had that Bills game, their
Hmm.
offense did not look great, the Chiefs, for a while. But their defense was obviously keeping them in it, keeping them ahead. As soon as the Bills scored, boom, Chiefs go right down the field and score.
Yeah.
Quick pass, quick pass, quick pass, run for 5 yards, boom, score. So it's like they don't show their cards until they have to, and obviously we won't get into everyone talk about controversy and ref collusion and stuff like that. It's the talent that's pass, pass, pass. Mahomes, they just get it done, and
Yeah.
and a lot of bounces go their way, and I think they're just so good and so well coached that that's why it seems like it's you know fixed.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely could see the reasoning and why people think it is fixed. But I mean,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, like something happens, you still have a chance to win the ball game. I'm not saying the Bills should have won that game, but like listen, I just think the Chiefs won. They're just for some reason they just win.
I
It's
know,
something we can't describe. This is the second time in our history where a team has been this fucking good. It was the
I
Patriots,
know,
and then it switched right over to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know,
And for some reason, these football teams are just good.
I know,
Everybody tries to find a reason to say why they aren't good,
I
but I'm
know,
sorry, the Chiefs are just good.
I
You
know.
know, and it's just a reality we all need to come to.
Yeah, even when they don't look good, they win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just win.
I know.
And it takes a very good team to
Hmm.
win when you're not at your best.
Yeah, it does. And, obviously there's just so many different storylines going into the game. I mean, obviously the three-peat
Yep.
is the main storyline. Hasn't been done in NFL history, hasn't been done in a sport in a while.
In a while, yeah.
I think the last one was the Yankees, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, in like
Yep.
the late 90s into the early 2000s.
2000s, yeah.
But also on the other end, like if I don't think a quarterback who has lost in the Super Bowl has ever even made it back and then won, I
Yeah.
believe. So
Wow.
Hurts, losing and then coming back. And
Oh, wait,
then
no, that's not true.
I
Brady.
think
But is he an
maybe it's against the
anomaly?
same team. Maybe he's an
Oh, against the same
exception.
team
Maybe
makes
that's what it
sense.
was. There was a stat about losing a Super Bowl and then coming back and winning. But yeah, that wouldn't make sense because Brady. I don't know.
Brady did it. Manning did it.
Yeah, so
A lot
let's.
of these guys did.
Yeah, so don't listen to that stat. There's a stat there that's
No,
along those lines.
that would make sense though. If Jalen Hurts is a quarterback who lost to the Chiefs and then comes back and wins, he would be probably the first one to ever lose to that team and then come back and beat
Maybe
them.
that's maybe that's
Yeah.
it. So you have obviously that storyline, but then honestly, Saquon having the historic year he has, he rushes for 2,000 in regular
Yeah.
season, rushing for so many yards a game. I mean, he's got like the highest prop bet I've ever seen. His over under is like 110,
That was insane. That
which
was
is
insane.
nuts, which is a
That
little
was
sneak
insane.
preview almost into our
Yeah.
predictions. But if he finishes the job, let's say he does rush for another 140, throws in 1 or 2 touchdowns, they win the game. I mean, it could be one of the greatest seasons for a player almost ever, at
Yeah.
least a running back. In our
Yeah.
definitely in our lifetime, I would have to go further back because obviously he doesn't have the all-time rush record. Obviously he doesn't have a rushing touchdown record or any record this year. But I mean, just think of the run he went on and to take down the dynasty of the Chiefs by leading your team to the playoffs. Because there are plenty of weapons on the Eagles, but that offense is run heavy.
Yeah.
So
Very run heavy.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited because the Chiefs D line is also really good. They're a
Hmm.
pretty good team against running defenses.
Hmm.
But on the other side of the ball, I saw a stat today that the Eagles are 5-0 playing on artificial turf this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's a pretty
I
cool stat.
Yeah, there's so many different stats that are almost like battling each other because there's the whole stat of I think the last 16 teams to win the Super Bowl were wearing like white, like
Yeah,
16 of 20. There's the Jalen Hurts stat we kind of were dancing with. That's never happened. The artificial turf one now. It's like so many stats and stuff going on to prove why each team's going to win that almost chalks it up to I hope it's a close game.
but that's what happens with the Super Bowl is that they pull out every little last stat because it's the
Oh, of
only thing that
course.
people are talking about for 2 weeks.
Of course.
And it's literally the highest watched sporting event in
Hmm.
America and most of the world.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
I
It is
know,
insane.
I know, and forgot who said it, but yeah, Chiefs just play close games. So
Yeah.
regardless, I hope it's comes down to someone having to score the final drive to
And
tie or
the
win
and
it.
the Chiefs just win. That's what they do. They just win. They're
Yeah,
just out here balling.
they do, and you kind of talked about it too with betting. I mean, all the prop bets that are have over and under national anthems.
Yeah.
Over or under 2.5 players attempting to throw a football. Like they just color of the Gatorade.
Yeah, it's
First
insane.
commercial after
It's
this. It's like
insane.
they have everything. They pull out all the stops for betting, and it does make it fun. It's a one sporting event where instead of a 7 game series, it's one game for the
Yeah.
championship, and it's
You
gonna be
leave it
fun.
all out on that field.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
game.
So you
Do
want
or
to just
die.
give one quick score prediction before we get into our parlay we put together?
A score prediction.
Yeah, with a winner, score and winner.
I think it's gonna be 23
Get out of here.
to 20
Okay.
Chiefs.
Wow, that's crazy. In my head, I was thinking 23-21. Uh,
Wow.
I was saying 23-21 Eagles. I'll throw just to play devil's advocate.
Wow.
I'm obviously think the Chiefs will pull it out, but play devil's advocate, I'll put the Eagles.
Okay.
I'll do
Okay.
23-21 Eagles.
And that's we're hoping that it's a field goal game.
Yep, I hope
Wow.
so.
So I hope so too, man. But I think more realistically, I think it might be like a touchdown apart game. I think it might end up by like a touchdown. So maybe like
Could,
27 or like 28, 21.
could,
But
yeah,
who knows? It would be cool to see it come between a field goal though.
yeah. It would be nice. I mean, last time they played, that was a shootout, 38-35. Wouldn't mind that
Exactly.
again. Wouldn't
Wouldn't
mind
mind
that.
that. Would not mind that at all.
Yes,
Feel like we've had some like lame, like low scoring Super Bowls. So I would
yes,
like to see something like that.
I agree.
Speaking of Super Bowl, let's make some money here, Tyler. Let's talk
Yes.
about our two-man parlay for
Yes.
the Super Bowl. So instead of the game, we decided to do a parlay. So
Hmm.
Tyler, how about you tell everybody what our two-man combined lock is, and then I'll give everybody else our two locks separately for this parlay.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. Well, I think when you looked at it from our aspects, we got the five legs, right? So if you want to look at the ones I put in, or I thought I looked at and I thought were good as the two locks I chose, if you will, for the five
Yeah,
legger,
yeah, yeah.
I have Saquon Barkley over 120 rush and receiving yards,
Yes,
along with
sir.
DeAndre Hopkins over 25 receiving yards, which has great odds for some
I
reason.
really like this one. It was like plus 260. I really like that lock.
Yeah, and that could be one, two
Catch.
catches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's great odds for those two locks from me, at least.
I really do like that.
Hmm.
And then for me, Tyler, my two locks were 5+ receiving yards for AJ Brown.
Hmm.
Or sorry, not receiving yards. Whoa. Five
Imagine.
plus receptions
Yes.
for AJ Brown. And then I also had 1+ sack for Chris Stone Cold Jones.
Yes.
And then the one that Tyler and I, the lock we had together, even though Tyler did pick the Eagles to win,
Yes.
we have Chiefs money line because we think the Chiefs just like to
Yes.
win.
Yes.
And then also Tyler will be happy if the Eagles win because he didn't want to see the Chiefs win, and then if the Chiefs win, he wins money. So that's how it works for Tyler.
Exactly. I was just at
Yeah.
the casino not too long ago, and let's just say I put in a little bet for the Chiefs. So it's a
Let's
win-win.
go.
Either the
Um,
Chiefs win me money or the Eagles make me happy.
so
We'll
this
see.
5 leg parlay, you add it all up together, and the odds are plus 2,900. And then we put $10 on it, and it was $10 to win $300.
Yep.
So you got pretty fairly good odds here with the two-man parlay. It
Hmm.
will not be an option to choose on DraftKings or FanDuel. You will have to put it in yourself.
Yes, we are not that big yet.
Not that big
One
yet.
day you will
One day.
we will be one of the ones on top that you could just click, yes, I'll add some money to.
Exactly, exactly. Like Dave Portnoy with our
Yep.
picture right next to it. You just click
Yeah.
and go. Click and
Exactly.
go.
Yep. But yeah, hopefully you guys win some money. Hopefully we win some money off that as well.
Hoping
And
so. And
hopefully you
let's go.
guys enjoy the
Go
Super Bowl.
Chiefs. Let's
Yeah.
go Chiefs,
Let
baby.
us know who you guys want to win. Carl wants the Chiefs. I would like the Eagles. So that should be fun on top of anything else. Regardless, I
And
hope there's some good commercials, good game.
yeah, definitely hoping for some good trailers, good commercials. Shout out to also the Jurassic Park trailer that just came out today.
Yes,
That was fire.
that was fire. I
We
gotta
don't
watch
talk
that a
about
few more
Jurassic World,
times.
but
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah,
ScarJo and dinosaurs, I'm there. In there like swimwear.
yeah. I'm so there too. That's gonna be another one I can't wait to see. But again, we hope you guys enjoyed this whole episode as much as we did. It was plenty of good stuff going on. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Hopefully, next time we're talking about the winner and a good game. But regardless, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep buying merch. We really appreciate you guys.
And thank you, Pete Alonso, for signing during this podcast recording. I really appreciate you and I love
Yeah,
you.
big ups, Pete.
Well,
Thank you.
big thanks, Pete. Thank you. Thank you.
LFGM, baby.